Welcome back, friends! This is episode 3 of our St. Helena Uncorked Passport series, where we've been showing you some incredible wineries here in St. Helena, California. Today's episode features beautiful Napa Valley views, a wine cave reminiscent of a hobbit hole, and the world premiere of the 2023 vintage of one of America's best-selling Chardonnays. We're Grant and Teresa Boggs, and we're on a mission to visit every winery in the Napa Valley. Yes, all 450 plus of them. Wine's an adventure. Let's do it. Welcome to Rombauer Vineyards in St. Helena, California. It's located on an idyllic hillside right off of the famous Silverado Trail. We're here to try Rombauer's self-paced tasting. That means we pick up a couple of wine glasses at the walk-up window, and we get to enjoy each pour at our own leisure. We can sit in this beautiful patio area, or walk around the lush gardens in between pours. As for us, we decided to start off the day with a front row seat to these amazing views of the valley. And I think us enjoying this view really embodies the Rombauer motto, which is the joy of wine. And we certainly felt that sense of joy and peace here. I mean, how could you not? And that approach to wine is something that our Rombauer host Ryan kindly shared with us.
So, many people might recognize this book. It's been around since 1931 and has been in many families passed down multiple generations. It only started with 3,000 copies and now sold more than 83 million, and is one of the most kind of significant cookbooks in the country. But a lot of people forget who actually wrote this book, The Joy of Cooking. And I basically want to kind of remind people, because if you zoom in right here, you might recognize that last name. Irma S. Rombauer was our founder's great aunt, and she had over 600 recipes that she wrote that we actually pair with our wines. For example, on the backs of our bottles, we include QR codes, and if you scan that, it gives you recipes that we think would be particularly good pairings with those individual bottles of wine. But our motto is also the joy of wine, so it's a pretty good pairing with the joy of cooking. And food and wine, I think, is meant to be put together. And we actually have quite a few recipes. And has the directions, so you can have that perfect date night and enjoy food and wine.
Ryan was generous enough to offer us a private tour of the Rombauer caves. And of course we said yes, so we can show all of you what you can expect when you guys come down here to Rombauer to do the cave tour. And with Grant being a big Lord of the Rings fan, he couldn't help but see the entrance to the Rombauer caves as maybe a hobbit hole or the doors of Durden leading into the mines of Moria under the misty mountains. Don't worry, there aren't any orcs or balrogs in here. One thing you should know is that the Rombauer caves are very cool, figuratively and literally. It's a constant 62 degrees Fahrenheit in here, even on a hot day. So it's an energy-efficient way to age wine and keep it at a stable temperature. The wine cave encompasses over 23,000 square feet and can hold up to 2,500 barrels. Now that's a lot of wine. But most of all, the cave is the perfect place to learn more about the Rombauer style of winemaking.
So, here at Rombauer Vineyards, it does start with the grapes first. In general, we try to pick all of our wines at peak ripeness, and we basically do a lot to gather information about when we actually want to pick, including flying drones over our vineyards, getting data about how the canopy and leaf density is, as well as using UV to know how much water and how much stress those grapes are actually going to be under. We then decide on a day to pick, and we pick those in sections. They're going to be picked in whole clusters, and basically those clusters will then be put through a de-stemmer, which is going to remove the stems from those grapes. Then it used to be kind of like an I Love Lucy situation with an assembly line where you would have to sort your grapes. Because just like a carton of strawberries doesn't always have the same ripeness of those strawberries, some of the grapes can be a little bit more overripe or underripe. So now we use a piece of technology known as an optical sorter, which takes pictures of every single grape and basically sorts them. So you actually make a wine out of all the exact same ripeness by uploading a picture of the ideal grape. And it uses a little puff of air to sort it. So every single one of our grapes goes through those optical sorters, and we lead the industry in that regard. Those for our red wines will then be put into a barrel with the skins. That's what's going to add that pigment and structure and tan into the wines. And when you say this gentleman looks pretty strong right here, yeah, that's because these barrels are over 400 to 600 pounds and have to be hand turned. We actually barrel ferment many of our reds, and that means that we add the yeast and basically hand turn the barrels about 2 to 6 times a day for 14 days. So every single one of these barrels has to be hand turned to basically make it so the skins don't dry out. We think it more seamlessly integrates the oak and the fruit characteristics because oak adds a lot of flavors to our wine. Speaking of oak, cooperage plays an important part in our process. We basically use both French and American oak to add flavors to our wine. These barrels are going to be toasted by our cooperage to different levels. And just like different coffee comes in light, medium, or dark toasts, they have different flavors depending on that toast level. We are going to show you a wine, our Carneros Chardonnay, that's going to be made in oak, predominantly in a medium toast, and kind of talk about how that actually adds the flavor to the wine. So this is the national release of our 2023 vintage of the Carneros Chardonnay. So you're here at a pretty cool time to get to try the newest release.
As much as we loved having 2,500 barrels of wine to ourselves, we decided it was probably time to re-emerge from the cave and rejoin the surface dwellers. We headed back up the hill to the tasting window for our last pours. For your last wine, they let you pick between a white and a red, so Grant and I decided to get one of each to share.
Wow, that's amazing. What's that? So you have the Merlot and I have the Buckley Chardonnay. Really good. This is our seasonal pick. So for the fourth pick of your tasting, you actually get to pick a red or a white. And we actually just got one of each so we could try both. He has the Merlot, and this is a really nice, crisp, delicious Buckley Station Chardonnay. I like my pick, so let's swap and see. Oh, you want another sip of yours? That's how good it is, huh?
It's good.
All right, let's swap. Merlot. Ooh,
It's delicious.
this is really good. Looks like we both have a couple of good winners here.
Yep, you really can't go wrong here at Rombauer. And we do want to say again a big thank you to Ryan and the Rombauer team for a great visit. They even generously gifted us a bottle of the 2016 Buckley Station Chardonnay, which was our wedding year. So that's a really thoughtful gesture. Thank you, Rombauer. And thanks to all of you for watching and supporting the channel. We really appreciate it. See you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers!